Good morning or afternoon. I honestly didn't look at the time before I came up here. I'm currently 14 weeks and a few days pregnant. I am going to give you a little disclaimer that I could potentially cry in this video. I am quite emotional. Probably one of the things to do with pregnancy, but also just a lot's happened in life, to be honest. The nausea has definitely taken a step back. Like, I don't feel as sick all day anymore. It's definitely a manageable sickness, but my body has just had some different reactions. And honestly, I think it's because I was laying on the couch and laying down for like a month and a half. I honestly just think my body is like did not cope well, which it shouldn't. Like, you're not meant to lie down for that long, but it's like all I felt like I could do like at that time. So now my body's reacting in other ways. So even though I'm not nauseous, like I'm slightly nauseous still, but like not fully nauseous, like I'm forcing myself to sit up all day, and that I started that yesterday and obviously doing it today because on I think Monday I went to the vet because Lona's very sick, which is one of the things. And I always said I was going to be honest, and trust me, I'm being so honest with how I'm presenting myself. This is how I look every single day, and this is how I'm feeling at the moment. There's definitely things I've forgotten to mention in last videos too, so I'm going to try and cover that as well. But we went to the vet on Monday and I had to go because I'd been staying with Luna at mum's, and like I'd seen all the symptoms and everything, and Luke hadn't, and Luke was the one that was going with me. So I went in, and because there was only like you're only allowed to have one person in the room, I went in with Luna and explained everything. And when I was in the room, I started to feel quite sick and really tired, like immediately. So I sat down because she had taken Luna like out the back. So I just quickly had to sit down in the room and tried to take deep breaths, and I had to wear a mask. I don't know if that was contributing as well. Then when she came back in, like I stood up and she was starting to talk to me about things again, and I was holding Luna, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna faint, because I fainted before and I know exactly the signs when I'm gonna faint. Went out into the waiting room, probably looking crazy to the other people, like I had a weak stomach because I was all of a sudden just dripping sweat. Like, made it to the chair just in time, I think. Like, I was sweating like no tomorrow. I was just trying to take deep breaths, which is really hard in a mask when you're pregnant. I was like, I don't know whether I'm gonna vomit, I don't know whether I'm gonna faint, and it was very scary. So like that was like my first sign that my body's like, it's obviously not used to moving around and it needs to start getting used to that again. So even though I'd been trying to do like pacing, walking in the house, I guess I hadn't done enough. So I started pushing myself a little bit more. It must have been Tuesday. Around lunch, Luke came over to visit me, got me food that I wanted. After I finished eating, I just felt like very achy, like all over, but mainly in like my arms and chest. And I was like, okay, like that's weird. And then like he had to go, just progressively got worse. So I took some Panadol, and then at 2 a.m. in the morning, no, at 1:20 in the morning, I woke up with like just a really, like it almost felt tight, like my whole chest just felt really tight, and like someone was kind of pushing down on it at the same time. I was still at mum's at this time, so I was, you know, like sitting there for an hour by myself. I sat upright, and that seemed to like alleviate a little bit, but like not enough to like fall back asleep. I started to kind of get scared because, you know, you incorporate chest pain with a lot of pretty scary health concerns, I guess. So I ended up calling out to mum at like 2:30 in the morning, and she came in and we were Googling, we were researching, and like it seems like a normal-ish thing for pregnancy. Mum seemed to think that because I had obviously been laying down for like a month and a half, I'd been very slouched over because I was feeling sick, and like a bit laying on the couch all slouched over, like I'd just been very closed-bodied for like a month and a half straight, and she's like, I honestly just think it's your posture, and she's like, maybe just try laying on the bed and like putting your arms out like that across the bed. So I did that, and like that seemed to help alleviate some of the symptoms, but like still I was in discomfort and almost pain because it was discomfort. I didn't want to take Panadol and then it alleviate everything and it's something serious that I needed to go to the doctor for or to the hospital for. So then at 3:30, after a while and researching and all that sort of stuff, I ended up taking Panadol and getting a heat pack and having that on my chest because that seemed to help. Then from that day on, so Wednesday, obviously not having much sleep, I sat up and just sat up the whole day for as long as I could, and Wednesday was the day that I was due to come home, and that was yesterday. So I am back home now with Remy and Luke. It's nice to be home. It's definitely different. Like I feel good to be back, but it's just I think my body's like, oh, you're in a new space again, you know. And I think I'm subconsciously just worried because of smells and all that sort of stuff that comes with pregnancy. It's just kind of alarming to be in a new environment. But I wanted to touch on some of the other symptoms that I've had that I forgot to mention in last videos, which is like my pimples and everything. I keep getting pimples. I have gotten that all throughout the pregnancy, but they're just like more and more as it goes on. Now that I'm sitting upright for the last 2 days and my body's just not used to it, I haven't had any more chest pain, which is great, but I also have had a very, very sore back, like lower back. So it's definitely taken a toll on my body and I'm just trying to recover. There's just been a lot of life stuff going on in the background, and like even though like I'm so grateful for being pregnant and I know how hard it is to fall pregnant, and like it did take me and Luke a while, and I'm trying to be as grateful as possible. It is some days so hard because like I feel like I'm just in survival mode some days because you just feel so bad all the time. And like even though I'm not nauseous anymore, I'm in like pain all the time with my back. Like I always try to remember to be grateful, and I always am grateful. It's so much harder than I thought it would be. And I know some people have really easy pregnancies, but I'm 14 weeks and I've struggled so much. And I know like even mum struggled more than me. Yeah, there's obviously Luna's been sick. She's got some sort of parasite. I've obviously not been going to work, and I didn't have any sick leave or maternity leave because I was casual. Our financial situation isn't great. Obviously I've been paying for vet bills and doctors, ultrasounds and all that sort of stuff, and the last time I spoke to you guys was before a ultrasound to look at the disabilities and stuff for the baby. All in all, like that was mostly a positive result, but there is some concerns, so we're looking further into those concerns, which also means more money as well. And then today, I don't know why it upsets me so much, or like not upsets me so much, why I'm dwelling on it so much, but today I also found out that I don't have a job to go back to, which is totally understandable. Like I have been off for like almost 2 months. I'm busy and they need someone there, but I know it just kind of feels like another setback in a way. Also it's like a blessing in disguise as well, but just a lot's going on, and this is honestly how I feel. I feel very overwhelmed and stressed. I've got a great support system around me, both with Luke's family and my family. Like all this stuff's going on. I'm struggling physically, obviously, but I'm also just like struggling emotionally. Quite honestly, it's not how I envisioned being pregnant would be. It has definitely had its happy moments, don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh, this has been so hard. Once again, I don't want to come across ungrateful. It's the last thing I want to come across as, because I am so grateful. All I've ever wanted to be is a mother, but this isn't how I envisioned my journey going. And I'm sure there's a few women that feel like that, but I wanted to be as honest and as real as possible, because I know some people just put on a front for media, and I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to say the truth. I am so incredibly grateful for being pregnant, but it has been one of the hardest things, along with the things that have been going on in life. On a positive, baby's measuring the correct size, and I'm not nauseous anymore as much, and I'm starting to eat more, and I'm starting to gain weight again, which is something that's obviously been really hard because I was so sick at the start and I couldn't stomach a lot of food. Usually not pregnant, I'd weigh about 53 to 54 kilos. I dropped to around 48. Now I'm starting to gain it back up slowly, but we have told Luke's family now, which was really nice. It's great to now have their support as well. That's my big long update for you at 14 weeks pregnant. Really know if there's anything else to say. All I can wear is dresses. All I've been able to wear for a month and a half is dresses, because I hate the feeling of anything tight across my belly. I haven't felt baby move yet. As soon as I eat something, I become so bloated that I look pregnant. But I know it's not, because when I wake up, like, I don't see anything. It's a magical thing, and I've honestly learned so much just through an app that I've been using to track my pregnancy. It's amazing how small they are at times, and how much is going on, and how they have fingers or eyelashes growing, and they're literally so incredibly small. Like my legs are going to sleep. I am so happy, and Luke's so happy. We are so happy. I'm just going through some things and struggling emotionally and physically as well, and I'm sure other women do too, so just want to let you know you're not the only one. See you when I see you next. Hey guys, it is past me again. Tomorrow I should be in my 17th week of pregnancy, and I thought I would use this opportunity to kind of end out my first trimester and how I've been feeling currently, because I think I'm nearly at a point where I can get some videos out, because I honestly feel like, obviously you guys saw how sick I was, and I really wasn't able to get videos out, but I think I might be able to. So I'm going to tie out this video as kind of my first trimester symptoms and everything. So the last time you guys saw me, I think I had just had my follow-up appointment with my doctor. So I think I had just gotten, or was just about to get, my ultrasound that basically looks over everything to do with your baby and looks for any disabilities and things like that. The part I don't really want to go into too much. I know people have very mixed opinions about this topic, and me and Luke had our own opinion, and I honestly don't really want to talk about it. We did get some concerning results from that ultrasound, so I had to get a follow-up test done, and basically that test that we got done also told us the gender of our baby. So we got to find out, like, 4 or 5 weeks early, the gender of the baby that we're having, and it's technically a more accurate test than your 20-week scan. So we were really excited about that, but we were mainly thinking about these results because I just really wanted to know that everything was okay and that baby was healthy. So I'm so sorry. I get so out of breath. You're just gonna have to deal with that. So we ended up getting the results and everything was all clear. And in that phone call, and it was such a sporadic phone call, I wasn't expecting it. I was doing something at the time. It was very hard to film our reaction to the gender, but I did film it. It's just like the tiniest clip ever because she was relaying so much information to us also about the test and everything, and then told us the gender. I'm not going to mention the gender in this video. That is going to be its own little thing.
Okay, so there is an X and a Y chromosome, which is consistent with a boy.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Okay.
It's kind of crazy to find that out from a blood test, isn't it?
I know, that is so crazy. Oh, because we literally were like, because I kept having dreams about girls.
Oh.
But then I honestly just felt like it was a boy. Like I was like, I just have a feeling.
Your gut feeling was on the money.
And all the results were good.
Yeah.
I really want to tie out my first trimester symptoms. So, my God, even just talking to a camera kills me. We know I was really sick. We know I had back pain. I got chest pain due to my posture. I honestly think that's just all it revolved around, was just my posture. I had probably, I want to say 1 week or 1.5 weeks of not feeling sick at all. And I was still taking my medication, and I was like, but I'm like not feeling sick at all. I think I could get off my medication. So I talked to my doctor, and she's like, okay, I think you should start like slowly getting off it. So take half a tablet. Well, I'm sorry, I am taking half a tablet of one of them. So she's like, take a quarter of a tablet for a week. And then I must have jinxed myself, because no, I've been quite nauseous again. I haven't been vomiting or anything, but I have been just feeling very sick in my belly, and at nighttime especially, my sense of smell becomes really strong at nighttime, and I just get disgusted with things again. I feel like the diet and smell thing is one thing I haven't really touched on as much as it's been affecting me. I could smell so much. I don't even know how to describe my smell, but it was ridiculous. I could smell people's food that they were cooking in like other houses, and it like disgusted me to the point that like I'd feel really sick or want to vomit at the start. Now my sense of smell seems to be fine during the day and everything, but as the afternoon kind of comes around and night, I can definitely start to smell more things again, and my body just gets quite disgusted with things. And I don't understand why, but it does. So at the moment, I'm really trying to change my diet forcefully, because I know that according to my app, at where my pregnancy is at the moment, my baby can now kind of like taste the food, and I can start kind of training it with what I'm eating, what it's gonna like, kind of thing, which explains a lot, because mum ate so many strawberries with Remy, and he's a health nut. She ate so much ice cream with me, and I'm not a health nut. Let's just say that. I'm healthy in some ways, but like if we're picking who was healthier out of me and Remy, it's definitely Remy. Because that nausea and everything has come back, I'm definitely struggling with trying to eat what I want, like eat things I don't want to eat, if that makes sense. So like I'm still sticking to like plain white bread and either peanut butter or Vegemite on it for breakfast. I have a green apple for morning tea. And then lunch is usually where I start to deteriorate. That's another thing I've forgotten to mention. Oh my gosh. I am no longer a vegetarian. When I was in my super, super sick stage, I was losing a lot of weight, and I wasn't eating anywhere near enough, even just for me, let alone having a baby as well. Mum would tell me, your body will tell you what it wants to eat. And there was one day Luke came over to visit, and he had a like potato and meat pie, and it smelled amazing to me. And at this point I had been vegetarian up until this point, and I was just like, can I smell that closer, just to figure out if I can eat that or not, which is my main thing, guys. Like, that is how I can tell if I can eat something at the moment, is I have to smell it. So he let me smell it, and I was like, do you mind if I have a teaspoon? And he's like, you know this is meat, right? And I was like, yes. I didn't eat a lot, because obviously I know that vegetarians that have been vegetarian for a long period of time, meat can actually make them feel sick. So I didn't eat a lot. I only had like maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons of meat. I honestly feel like it helped me so much. I wanted to stay vegetarian through this whole thing, but I really think my body just needed that extra protein. It was telling me not eating enough. So even if you have this tiny bit of meat, we can take protein from that, or we can take so many things from that. So I honestly think it was part of how I got better quicker. I'm really going back in time. I can't go through this like properly. I'm literally sweating. I'm nervous. I know I'm not gonna have one child, and it honestly scares me thinking of having to go through this again. One thing I think I touched on but didn't really go into was my gassiness. And honestly, guys, next time I'm pregnant, if I'm filming and everything, please remind me to sit up more often, because obviously I was so sick. And I understand why I was lying down, but I think some of it came from me not sitting up, because Now that I've been sitting up more, I can burp. Like, you just burp so much easier standing up and being upright. So like, if you see me doing this a lot when you hang out with me, and I'm usually like, and then I'm like, okay, sweet, I can get, like, I just need to let air out of me. This is gonna be TMI, guys, by the way. I said I was gonna be super honest. I'm gonna be super honest with you. So right at the start, I was very, how can I word this that's not gonna be gross? I went to the toilet very easily. I had diarrhea at the start, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Not diarrhea, but like my poos were not great. Not good. Now it's kind of tipped the other way. So I usually go through a stage of being constipated for a bit and then have like 1 or 2 days of just releasing all of it. I don't know what that's about, but there you go. That's that section done. I had laser on my hoo-ha and underarms, and it basically is null and void. It's like I never had laser done. Also, I'm not sure if this part's hormones or not. So my belly has so much like hair on it and it's dark. So I don't know if this is from hormones or whether this is from my belly not seeing sunlight for like 3 months now. 4 months. 3 months. I'm going to the beach today with mum to ease this out. I will give you guys a belly update shortly because I am finally starting to show a little bit. In my 16th week of pregnancy, which is what I'm kind of coming to the end to at the moment, the baby is the size of an avocado inside of me, which is insane. With doctor's appointments and everything, my next checkup is at 20 weeks, which is usually when you can find out the gender, so we'll be able to have a double check of that. The next scan is 20-week scan, which is where they check all of baby's organs and everything like that, because all of them will be developed by 20 weeks. It's just basically your baby goes for the second half of pregnancy, which I didn't know. Honestly, I've learnt so much along this process and it just blows my mind every time I read stuff about it. At this point in time, we have told basically all of family and friends. There's just a few more friends that I need to tell, and I want to tell in person, but they've been away. So I need to tell them, and then I think I can start posting stuff. I have been buying baby things, but I am not going to show anything in this video, obviously. But yeah, I've got a full list on my phone and I'm just slowly getting through it. And then once Remy moves out, which should be around the start of my 3rd trimester, Remy should be moving out, and that's when I'm gonna like start setting up the nursery and everything, which I'm really excited for. Oh my gosh, this is the other thing that I'm gonna touch on before showing you my bum. Pregnancy brain. Be completely honest with you, I was like, I feel like pregnancy brain is just an excuse. I feel like they just say it because they forget stuff and all that. I forget the most small things. Remy will ask me to water a plant, and I'm like, yep, hear him, respond, looking at him, I'll do that. No, it's gone. I forget what day it is. I just say the dumbest thing. Sometimes I can't even give an example, but like there's been times my family's just like, what? Please disregard how pale my belly is and the little hairs on it. This is me at the moment. Some of you might be like, you just look the same, but I can definitely see, like, I'll try and find a picture, but usually this whole front part here isn't there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you took something away from it. I hope you see the honesty, because I'm trying to be as honest as I can. As I said, I just honestly am forgetting stuff. Like, that's the only things that aren't being mentioned. And like, I'll probably think of something again and be like, oh my god. And part of the 2nd trimester update. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a like. Please give me a comment, any questions you have. As I said, I forget so much, so just comment if you have another question. I'm so happy now that everything's okay and that we can just start to move on through this process. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, I totally forgot to mention some things. I just remembered that last time I spoke to you guys, I was like crying and stuff. Luke had about a week and a half off work, which he was able to do some really big stuff around the house that we've been wanting to get done before this baby was born. And he cleaned up his old ute and sold it. I know last time I spoke to you, we were having major concerns with money. I had just been let go from my job from being away for so long. We are honestly in so much of a better spot. We've been budgeting better. Now that I'm back here, I can keep an eye on Luke. I love you, babe, but anyway. So selling the ute definitely helped, budgeting a lot better, and just like bit by bit, week by week, just buying stuff for baby and getting ahead in that aspect as well. So we are in a lot better of a place, and definitely getting those results back about baby being healthy was a major help to my emotions. I was quite worried about that. I'm feeling a lot better. I don't have anywhere near the back pain I did. We are so much better financially, which is just such a weight off our shoulders. Okay, I think that's everything now. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. See ya. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.